here is the report for Leo for the month of September. Well, Leo, I was saying in a previous video with the Cancer report that the moon makes lots and lots of aspects to it. Aspects every planet in the course of a month. But the sun is keeping pretty busy, and the sun, of course, is your ruling planet. It will trine the North Node on the 10th. It will sextile Black Moon Lilith on the 11th. It will sextile Jupiter on the 12th. It will be conjunct Mercury on the 13th. Now that could be a day, the 13th, with the Sun conjunct Mercury, for some very clear thinking there. And forming trines to Uranus and trines to Pluto on the 24th. So busy old time there with the Sun forming those aspects. The other thing to say is that the partial solar eclipse on the 21st of September is only a partial solar eclipse. Nevertheless, it is a slight solar eclipse, and I think it probably takes a couple of hours, the actual eclipse point, but it may be that during that period there's a little shadow falls over you, or a little dimming of your light to some degree, or a drop of energy or something like that, since the sun is your ruler. And also, of course, we've got equinox on the 22nd, when the sun will go into the sign of Libra, where it's in its fall and where we begin. We're at a point where day and night are equal, but thereon in, incrementally night becomes slightly longer than day, all the way down to the winter solstice. So again, that is, that perhaps I've had this glorious summertime, which is very Leo, and then just this sense of a drop in the autumnal energies, which you may feel. But let's look at where the eclipse is happening for you. We're in that 18-month period where our eclipses will be happening close to the North Nodes, which we have North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. And so that will be where all of these will play out, both the ones that came in the springtime and the ones that we have in the month of September. And this is across your second house, 8th house axes. And this is quite interesting because the second house is very much it's to do with our finances. It's also to do with our sense of self-worth, those things which make us feel worthy. And it may be that there is a little, as inevitably there will be for all of us at different times, a little bit of a wobble there on confidence, in how you're valuing the self. Although, of course, to Leo, the self, inhabiting the self, living to the full potential, heart potential of the self is very important. Now, this is opposing the 8th house, where we have the North Node in Pisces. And this is taking us towards a deeper sense of relationship, of sharing. It's thought of as the house of sex, death and taxes, but it's also the house where we form the very deepest sharing of ourself. And I think that there can be a slight tendency to shy away from that, really as a self-protective mechanism. That we think, well, if I don't begin this, then I'm in no danger, because I haven't begun. And I think that's something to watch out for, and perhaps something to release at the point of these eclipses, so that you are more able to access that Pisces energy there, that more loving, heartfelt energy there. And of course, as a fixed sign, the other fixed signs are Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. The whole sort of movement that's going on at the moment, and the eclipses that are going on, can seem destabilizing. For the mutable signs, it's probably a little easier, but I think the fixed signs, can really feel the gear shifts and the changes, and perhaps dig in a little. And of course, doing so only makes things harder. Well, you have quite a royal card there, Leo, the Queen of Pentacles. And this is a very, very capable figure, but also one able to balance different aspects of life very effectively and build an abundant and successful world around them. Now, I think this taps in to your second house, where I've said the eclipse is second to the 8th, because that is a house of your resources. And so I think that having the Queen of Pentacles come up as your card offers there some good news about those resources. Yes, some good news about what you have there in the second house, I think, is coming from the Queen. So I think that's rather a good message for you. Picking up on this second house theme there, and the Queen of Pentacles and so on, you have Venus currently in Leo. And of course, Venus is our planet of love, relationships, beauty, creativity, all of those lovely things. And so it's very nice having Venus in your sign. But there's a couple of interesting things here, because on the same day, and this is the 16th of September, and I think Venus leaves your sign 3 days later and goes into Virgo. But on the 16th, Venus in Cancer sextiles Mars in Libra. Now, that can be quite a good energy for going after what you want. Mars gives you the drive and the oomph, and Venus the desires, what we desire, what we would like. And of course, there is a connection between Venus and the sign of Libra, which it rules. So that looks like quite a lucky part of the day. But also, at the same day, on the same day, Venus is trining Chiron. Chiron is a wounded healer, sometimes where we feel our wounds. But I think with Venus forming that lucky sextile to Mars, but also trining Chiron, our wounds, well, it's a signature, I think, of healing, a signature of having insights into things, and of yes, being able to heal some of those wounds that are there. And of course, this whole eclipse across Virgo Pisces does have a very strong healing theme.